Hey, good people. Salute. I'm going to skip all the greetings and let's get right to it. Um, I have no problem with valuetainment. I think that their purpose is to just be a representative of productive people in society. I think they do try to be fair and balanced. But I think sometimes when you see people that actually um, train for debate, no matter how much they claim they want to be all the way fair, to win a debate, you have to lean towards your point of view more than the other people's. And sometimes you sweep over stuff, and it takes the person you're debating against to have enough wit and enough sharpness, you know what I'm saying, to counter you. That's why it's important to have people that you're that have conflicting views to be around you when you're speaking your truth. That way they can say, well, hey, here's the other side. So I said all that to say I'm gonna just comment on this video right here, and if you don't like it, tell me why. Hit the comment section and let me know where you feel like I'm tripping. But this is about January 6th rioters, and the problem I have, which prompted me to make this, is that he's feeling like the most of the gentlemen on this panel, other than it's four gentlemen, only one is kind of having a balanced view. The other three are feeling like, shut up about January 6th. All you people are lying. You just don't want Trump to win, so you're spewing lies and hate. Those people are good people. They did what they had to do, and if you guys felt like they were so wrong, then why don't you feel like Black Lives Matter and all the riots in Ferguson and George Floyd and all that were wrong? Well, here's the thing. Those people were prosecuted too. And they keep acting like they weren't. That's why I'm doing this video, because you guys are also lying. You are gonna just claim that only the January 6th rioters are the only ones being, whether lawfully or unlawfully, they're being arrested, and everybody's calling them the bad guys. But nobody has ever done that with the Black Lives Matter people. Oh, they got to destroy billions of dollars in property and go home and laugh about it. That's not true. The police was on their ass. But hold on, here's my point. Let's see what they say.
Tucker Carlson releases exclusive January 6th footage, says politicians, media lied about Sosnick, QAnon, shaman. Tucker Carlson released this, pushed by, he says, in January 6, 2021 rise that challenges various narratives, pushed by the Democratic-controlled House Select Committee and mainstream media. The footage shows Trump supporters peacefully touring the building, contradicting the news coverage of January 6th that likened the event to 9/11 and the attacks on Pearl Harbor. Capitol Police officers were seen escorting Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, around the building without incident. Carlson reported that officers were seen showing Chansley around, even trying to open locked doors for him. The footage also challenges the narrative that the events of January 6th were a deadly insurrection. Officer Brian Sosnick was seen walking normally while guiding Trump supporters out of the building while wearing a helmet, which contradicts the media narrative that he...
Okay, so we get what he's saying. Apparently, the Sosnick guy, the shaman guy, is the one that we all seen that had the horns and helmet on or whatever, and he just seemed like a frat boy let loose. And I think, in to defense of valuetainment and the people that are upset at him being arrested, he's gonna do 3 or 4 years. They said they feel like he ain't do nothing. They picking on the wrong guy. Join the club. Black people have been trying to tell you that for the longest. That when are y'all gonna ever sympathize with the black people who are in the wrong place at the wrong time? And they're trying to tell you, like, man, not only did I not do the crime that they're saying I did, I was around being treated with access to certain things from the government. or from the police or whatever, and y'all still looking at me as the bad guy. Yeah, it sucks. That's called being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Then, if he's so innocent, I understand that new footage shows that he was being escorted and things like that, but he is the face of the people who had the intention of breaking in. So, if you want to sympathize with him, you cannot do that, right wingers, because I swear to God, we can bring up so many situations where there were black people who were taken down and unjustly arrested like him and are doing time just like him, all because the police said, hey, you were the face of something. Matter of fact, we got people going down for in the black community for fucking mafia crime boss RICO laws that were made for them. The C in RICO is conspiracy. You cannot have the evidence and still lock this person up for a number of time in jail because you feel like he conspired to do something, even though you haven't caught him red-handed, him or her. So what they're getting this guy on is a version of conspiracy. Now, so, okay, it's unfair. Join the club. Join the club. We've been saying that for the longest. It's funny how all of a sudden now the FBI are unrighteous members of the government. But when black people have been saying that forever, like, yeah, they come in, they destroy your home, tell you, so what? We're looking for Bobby. Bobby ain't been at your house in 50 years. And they looking for him, locking up everybody for not telling them where he at, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we've been telling y'all the FBI is some jerks.
He died of a head injury. So this is this. Now, everyone's saying stuff about Tucker negatively.
Yeah,
I mean, Twitter's blowing up. I can't believe he said this. I can't believe he said that. Did you get the clip I sent you about what Kevin McCarthy said?
I don't have it.
Do you have it? If you don't have it, let me just send it to you so you have it. Oh, I texted it to myself. If you go to, let me send this to you. You have to see this. While we're pulling this up, Vinny, why don't you give us your thoughts, and then I'll go to Kevin McCarthy.
All right, so, and I want to ask everybody. I want to ask you, Pat, Rob, all the, everybody in chat. What was the reason for the January 6th situation? And mind you, I call it a situation because it wasn't an insurrection. Insurrection is a violent uprising against the government or authority. Let me explain something. For everybody that saw what's happening, especially with Tucker, it was none of that, all right? So, and when I asked why, Pat, why did the people go to the Capitol? It's a rhetorical question.
Before he finishes his rhetorical question, you guys just heard him say, and man, and let me go, before I go any further, I consider myself an independent. I think the left side is full of shit. I think the right side is full of shit. Everything you can say about how much lying they did in the Democrat and the left side, if you think the right wingers are telling the truth, you's a motherfucking fool. I don't care how much you. So it's funny how all of a sudden, just to not to divert from my point, but real quick, I was around during the Bush administration and how he got into office and all that stuff, and all the lying he did with the WMDs and going to Iraq. Every Republican supporter, right-wing supporter, conservative, whatever you want to call them, said, shut up. This is the greatest president of ever. There is no criticism you could have against him. When Trump came out and told everybody Bush was a bitch, everybody's like, fuck Bush. But what I'm saying is, though, now all of a sudden, now that you got somebody else you like more than Bush, you like fuck Bush too. My point is, neither side is willing to be honest. So I'm not, don't take me as a Democrat lover. I don't give no fuck. I think they full of shit just like the right wingers. But y'all don't feel that way. Y'all feel like your side is better than the other. You're wrong.
What?
Oh, but anyway, before I go any further, this guy, insurrection. This is why I wanted to do this, and I'm sorry for rambling. The insurrection is bad. To call it an insurrection, he's saying is bad because you see new video that Tucker Carlson got his hands on to where they're peacefully walking around. Okay, you do see footage of people just walking around, not even bothering nothing. But we have definitive footage proof of people climbing the video where the black security officer shot the woman. Right before he shot her, you see her about to jump over that motherfucker like she's Spidey, like she's Spider-Man. The whole fucking door was being busted open. So, yes, you have a certain amount of them that weren't doing nothing, but for valuetainment to sit here this whole entire video and not mention the people that busted the windows in is showing that they are only trying to have their narrative. And I think that that's sad because I consider them to try to be people that are upstanding people. And this is a very bad look on their part. I wish I was there. I just want to know whether they agreed with me or not is not the point. Just to push back a little bit and say, are you not going to mention the video of them busting the windows out? Is them busting the windows out, isn't that the same as people rioting and looting and busting out windows in businesses? It's because they know about that video, and if they weren't trying to spin the narrative, they would bring that up too. They would say, this is our opinion on the people that did the destruction to the building. Not just the people that are walking peacefully. There are also people on film destroying the building. They would bring that up.
Why'd they go? Because those people thought that the election was stolen from them. And my question is, Pat, is that such a far-fetched idea for them to think that the left would do something like that? All right. And you know what? The answer is no, Pat. They've lied, the left and the government. They lied about Russia. They lied about COVID. They lied about vaccines. They lied about Hunter Biden. They lied about the border. They lied about China. The audacity to be like, how dare you guys question us? It's like, bro, shut the hell up.
Okay. See, that's why I just brought up Bush. So, the hanging chads in Florida. People that weren't around or weren't paying attention when Bush won his first election bid, we felt like he stole the election, and that was actually what people were saying. We knew nobody liked him, and on top of that, there was an actual proof that there was some funny business going on in Florida. So, if I recall correctly, and I have to brush up on my research, but if I remember correctly, we felt like, we being the people that voted against Bush at that time, felt like there's no way he won. His margin of victory was so narrow, and it was only because he won at the last minute the state of Florida. And it come to find out there was some funny business in the state of Florida. So what this guy is saying, that all adults should have marched on the Washington, D.C. Capitol building back then when Bush became president. I'm talking about Bush Jr. I'm sorry for all those who don't know the difference. And we should have fought for answers on why this happened. So let's say they felt like in their heart, honestly, that Trump did get robbed. So the peaceful protest, nobody had a problem with. You could have been 1 million, 2 million deep at the Capitol building. You could have shouted to the top of your lungs and all this stuff. But running into the building was not, that was you saying, we finna make something shake. We're not stupid.
And then you have Schumer, it's left and right. Schumer and Mitch McConnell, the alien, going, hey, Fox, don't you dare show this. And Pat, why not? Let us see the truth. And you know the people that died, Pat.
So, yeah, so, okay. We see it. All we see is that a certain section, it didn't do nothing. But there was a section that did.
It was Ashley Babbitt was one of the ones that was murdered. She was a United States Air Force veteran, unarmed. She was shot and murdered by a Capitol Police. That's one. And that Brian Sicknick, who was wearing a helmet, they said was killed with blunt force trauma. He had a stroke. Okay, so it wasn't what they tried to say that it was. These people were there because, you know what? They don't believe them.
Okay, so Sicknick, I stand corrected. Sicknick wasn't the guy that's going to jail for 4 years because he was killed. It was, I forget the guy name, I guess he's the QAnon person that's going to jail for 3 or 4 years, and they're upset about it.
The government. And this is my thing. I'm actually not proud, but impressed. You know what? When you have a problem and you think the government is effing with you, that's what you go to the government. You don't burn down your city. You don't kill your own people. You don't burn down businesses in your town. Like, remember with the riots, people were burning down BLM, Antifa. They burned down their own city. If you have a problem with authority, go to the authority. And from what I saw, Tom, that shaman was walking around, smiling, taking selfies, talking to people. They had ropes escorting people into where. And what about
walking slowly, and they would touch him on the shoulder to say, no, this way, and they would open the door for him. He was waiting at doors, and they're like, hang on a second, I'll open this for you. And you're looking at it, it says, wait a minute. Because he was wearing that headdress and the fur, the media used that as, this is a psycho person, this is part of the insurrection. But the truth was, yeah, he was wearing a headdress with the fur, but he was walking around.
It looked like
the same way that when crimes are going on in the inner city, they rounding up anybody who's got a hoodie on, anybody black with a hoodie and some Nike tennis shoes on. Oh, and their pants sagging. Oh, we know this is a thug that was involved. And you sit up there like, man, I work a 9 to 5. I just loosened my belt up a second ago. I was about to tuck my shirt in and you motherfuckers rolled up on me. But no. Yeah, so yeah, it sucks, don't it? It sucks, don't it?
like a guided tour field trip. And Ray Epps, who Christy, one of our writers in here, wrote about it past. She said insurrection or Fedsurrection or one of those things. Everybody thought the guy was an FBI agent, and in court they showed his text. You know what he told his nephew? He goes, "I orchestrated the protest at the Capitol." He goes, "I helped people get there." That's that guy that was wearing the Trump hat and was yelling at people to go. This is when we're gonna go and we're gonna attack the Capitol. And why isn't that guy in jail? If you give 4 years to the shaman guy that was on a tour of the Capitol, but Ray Epps, the guy that was inciting violence, and guess what? I don't trust them. So good for them. They should have, you know what? It shouldn't have happened on January 6th. When they found out these people with Russian collusion, it was all a hoax with Hillary and the government lied. That's when they were late. You guys should have gone there a year earlier, 2 years earlier, and gone and talked shit. So I'm not for violence, but I'm for, if you have a problem with the government, go talk to the fucking government.
All right, so remember that moving forward. I think we all should go to the government, and we should all do the same thing that the January 6 people went in. And I want him to see, when there's a whole lot of black people do that, a whole lot of Hispanic people do that, Asian people do that, I want him to have the same energy.
And don't burn down your own city. That's my point.
Tom, thoughts?
I'm just listening to this, and Vinny, I thank you for your passion. I mean,
thank you.
I was disappointed and shocked, and what came to my mind was they freaking lied to the public about this guy, and they railroaded him. Mm-hmm. This guy is doing 3 years.
Four actually.
And apparently he's got a couple psychomedical issues, and real issues. And so this guy got railroaded. All the footage that we see, now I understand why all the committee members didn't want Fox to put this up.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Don't nobody care about this dude getting off of. If he is innocent, I don't want him going to jail. Nobody's sitting here like, oh man, I hope they arrest the dude with the mental illness that was acting like a shaman. No, don't nobody caring about that. Man, stop it. They starting off with this, guys, but we're going to get to the point. We're going to get to the point when this other dude that hasn't been on camera yet, when he gets to speaking, that's when the shit hit the fan. Let me see if I can get fast forwarded to his part a little bit. Hold on. I don't want to leave out any important points that they make, though, because I want to let you know that I'm fair and balanced. But please support their channel. Go watch this video on your own. Give them that view. Give them a like if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. I'm not trying to diss them, but we are at disagreement on this, and I feel like they also are being disingenuous.
There he is.
Look, he's on a tour. Where's the insurrection?
And watch him stop. He's going to come back.
Yeah, and like, dude, the guy was on a freaking field trip that was roped off and guided around. Like, yes, guess what? There were some hooligans. Every time you get hundreds of people together, look at this.
So
look at the cop behind them. Yeah.
2 cops in the call.
Let them go in.
And they said that security detail in the orange vest.
Look at this.
Now he's going to walk through here.
Look, the cop behind them. Where's the violence? This guy, dude, you know how many people are in solitary confinement right now? You know how many people are not going to see the light of day?
So let me show this. Can you?
Okay, so he didn't do nothing. It's fucked up. He getting locked up. But why y'all not speaking on the people that aren't getting locked up that Ward turned shit up? You know what I'm saying? When y'all gonna speak up about them?
Show me what Chuck Schumer's reaction was to this. It's very different than what Vinny said. I just texted it to you. If you can play Chuck Schumer's reaction. Here's Schumer's reaction.
Yeah.
These lies continue tonight. Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted they were lies and said he regretted it, has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth.
Yeah.
And from letting him go on again and again and again. Not because their views deserve such opprobrium, but because our democracy depends on it.
Oh, there we go.
Lies.
There you go. Let me guess.
Our democracy depends on Tucker not showing this.
Let me explain something to you. The threat to
maybe it does. Maybe there's going to be a real insurrection when the people see what's happening.
Tom, here's my question. What is wrong, Pat, with just let me see, I guess the 40,000 hours, they picked just those type of moments. What are you so scared of? What is the fear in letting me see like what's happening? It's like the Zapruder film. Well, they're like out of everybody, one guy recorded it. The government was like, no, they tried not to show it. Let me see it so I can make my own decision. I don't need Chuck Schumer. I don't need Mitch McConnell to tell me what I can and what I can't see.
Can you play Kevin McCarthy's video? Can you play Kevin McCarthy? What his?
Hey guys, by the way, I was arguing with the person on this actual video, and I typed in 2 long paragraphs of evidence because the man accused me of not having evidence, and it's suspiciously disappeared. I'm probably wrong, but is somebody able to alter my reply to where it can't be seen? Because I caught the dude red-handed with my evidence, and it's funny that those 2 long paragraphs of evidence are nowhere to be found. I've been replying on YouTube for over a decade. I know how it works, and it's funny how, wow, please don't be any funny business going on, but let's continue.
Reaction.
Because of the footage that you gave Tucker Carlson last night, he went on and said this was a mostly peaceful chaos. As he said, he downplayed Brian Sicknick's death, said it was not related to January 6th, said this was not an insurrection. Do you regret giving him this footage so he could whitewash the events of that day?
No, I said at the very beginning, transparency. And so what I wanted to produce for everybody is exactly what I said, that people could actually look at it and see what's going on.
Good for you. Good for you.
But Mr. Speaker,
Is
this portrayal of what happened that day?
Look, each person can come up with their own conclusion,
Good.
but what I just wanted to make sure is I had transparency.
Do you believe-
Because I know in CNN, I had here where you guys actually broke where we were. This was a secret location, Fort McLaren.
Wow.
I don't know if you got concerned by that. I don't even know from point of view of security if we could ever be taken there again. But when you broke that
Wow.
with CNN, that was
Okay, but so
it's past transparency is go.
kudos to Kevin McCarthy. Okay, but let's get past this
Question.
Yeah. Because
Exactly what the hell you're seeing, and good for him. I don't give a damn about what deal he did. That's ballsy, and I love the fact that, Pat, he had an article right in front of your face, CNN giving our location because you guys wanted us to get hurt. So kiss my ass.
Adam.
All right, Vinny, thank you for.
he finna bust a motherfucking vessel. Motherfucker, he's so mad that black folks, he want the black folks hurt. Their Black Lives Matter destroyed the community. Those bastards. Okay. So just had that same energy. They destroyed property. Had that same energy. That's all. Okay. Now here's the part to where we really need to watch. This is the part we all need to pay attention to.
For your passion, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I actually spent a lot of time watching Tucker last night, watching Hannity last night. I was watching CNN last night just to kind of see different perspectives here. And what is clearer than ever is that both sides are just going to just deliver news that just feeds their base to just drive their narrative.
Facts. And then he triggered them 3 because they know he also pointing them out while he's their friend and he actually exposing them right then and there. Y'all gonna just do whatever it says to make your side sound good.
Both sides. We all know how easy it is to edit things. And that's not a political statement. So whatever Tucker shows on his show can be edited. Same thing goes for CNN. So I think January 6th, from an overall standpoint, was a very sad and disgusting day and a stain on America. With that being said, I think the majority of people there were just generally there to protest. The shaman and whatever clowns broke into the Capitol, they should be held to the highest extent of the law, period.
That's all we're saying. If that man with the shaman hat on didn't do nothing, let him go. I agree. Bruh, but somebody did something.
And if they're in jail for 2 years, 3 years, two months, whatever it is, it's deserved, period. What I'm finding interesting now is that, like, you can say the January 6th committee, sham, nobody on there, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, a bunch of Democrats. It's people are losing trust in what the government is, and each media narrative, each side of the narrative is just going to basically say what people want to say. So I believe, and I'm just going to use Tucker's words, Tucker doesn't like Trump behind closed doors, but he loves his base. So he's trying to thread the needle of genuinely appeasing the base, but at the same time distancing himself from Trump. His words. You're seeing what's going on with this whole Dominion lawsuit. Like, let's not forget that Fox is going to be dealing with some shit with this Dominion lawsuit and Murdoch and everything they said. And essentially they knew that Trump lost the election, but they kept perpetuating the story. Carlson, his words, passionately hates Trump. Okay, in a number of text messages in November 2020, Carlson said that Trump's decision to snub Joe Biden's inauguration was, quote unquote, so destructive. Tucker Carlson added that Trump's post-election behavior was, quote unquote, disgusting, and that he was trying to look away from Trump. In another text in a conversation 2 days before the January 6th attack, Tucker Carlson said, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump on most nights. I truly can't wait." These are Tucker's texts.
Yeah, I don't care about that either.
But who he does respect and he does appreciate is Trump's base. So Tucker's trying to thread the needle, distancing himself from Trump, and at the same time appeasing the base. And that's exactly what Fox seems to be doing at this point.
Right. So what he sounded like he was trying to say is, because if you don't know, the extra footage that is now being presented to the public was given from Kevin McCarthy to Tucker Carlson only. And if you know anything about Tucker Carlson, he's a Fox News anchor who only looks at things from a conservative, Republican, right-wing point of view. And his purpose in announcing that he was going to receive and release the footage was he's going to be able to show everybody the truth, that the Democrats are lying and they're trying to make you hate the people that are Republicans and hate Trump and all this stuff. So he's saying Tucker Carlson already let you know he's going to be looking at it from a biased point of view, and he's going to alter it and spin it to make it look to support his stuff. So he could have footage that would support the Democrat left side, but he won't share that with you because he's already shown that he wants to have you support his side. And that's all he's trying to point out right now. This guy with the black jacket on.
So Adam, so January 6th, you're saying one of the most disgusting. You're not on the AOC and Kamala and all them saying it was compared to 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. Hold on, because I want to make, because I definitely got to. You don't think it was where thousands and thousands of people died and burned and jumped off of buildings? I hope you're not trying to say, because it was disgusting in your eyes. It was nowhere near that, because that's what they're saying.
So what's your question?
So Mike,
now he's mad that the dude in the black jacket started off by saying the January 6th riot was disgusting to him. He didn't want him to say that because he's looking at it like you should be in support. You should love what they did. Listen to this, guys. He feels like you should love what they did. He said it earlier out of his mouth. He said he likes that they went down there and did what American citizens should do when they have a problem with thinking somebody's lying to them. They went straight to the government and approached the government. He likes what they did.
My question is, I can care less about the Tucker text and all that stuff. I don't care about editing. You just saw, because you can watch all these videos. it wasn't an insurrection of trying to take over whatever. People were just walking around and hold on.
I'm trying to get to your question. Yeah.
So who died? Like, what was the?
Are you asking? Do I think January
person that
6th is equal to 9/11? Is that your question?
No, I'm just saying. What you think it was disgusting? Why do you think it was so disgusting? Because people thought that
Benny,
the
what's your question?
That people were like, you think was it going too much to go there and just protest, and a couple of assholes got out of line? That's what it was. Are you mad about that?
Okay, so let's.
I don't understand your question.
Hang on.
Yeah.
So let me go through some of the questions.
Yeah.
So do you compare the, January 6th to 9/11 in Pearl Harbor?
Not even close.
Okay, no, he's not there. Just so you know.
No
But
way.
now, let's
Thousands of people died in these fucking things. That's not even close.
Let's go.
Duh.
Oh, let's go to.
At the same. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Pat.
At the same time, finish your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it wasn't a proud moment in American history. These.
That's all we saying, man. And I bet this dude is a Republican himself. I bet this dude don't give no fuck about black people or minorities and nothing like that. He could be the snobbiest, hateful ass person in the world. But right now, he just saying, bruh, we supposed to support them blindly, the January 6th protesters, rioters. We're supposed to support them blindly. He doesn't see the logic in it. He doesn't agree with them. That's all he's saying. And the rest of the people that are so happy that Tucker Carlson, he's exposing the left. He's saying no. He's saying y'all wrong.
These are people that should not have been in the Capitol. Again, if you want to go and protest and you want to be out there waving flags, God bless you. Do it. America. Do everything. But let's stop pretending that these people were up to no good. Okay? Like, this guy, the shaman, should have not been in the Capitol that day. Why was he in there? None of these guys should have been in there.
Adam.
Got him. Got him. Because, motherfucker, a black person got shot, was it last year or the year before? Because he was in an abandoned property that was being built up or something like that, and the white neighbors felt like, what the fuck is he doing in there? He ain't got no right in there. He wasn't vandalizing, he wasn't destroying property, he wasn't doing obscene stuff, he was just standing around in there. It was nothing to steal from there, because it wasn't built up yet. And he still was attacked by these Caucasian people. And the justification was they're looking out for the community. He should not have been there. He would not have had them problems from us if he had not been in there. So keep that same energy. You wouldn't have had this 4 years jail sentence, sir, if you didn't take your ass in there. What good questions, dude in the black jacket. Why the fuck was you in there?
Adam. Okay, so the opposite argument to that would be, during the BLM protests, how many people died?
20 to 30. I think more than that.
What have we heard about it?
You're right.
Yeah.
Two things can be true.
No, but
that the January 6th was disgusting and those protests are disgusting.
No, it's those four.
But that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
I get that, but your point can be your opinion, but it's not the truth, because you have to give it to data. Meaning, do you know how I said earlier, the 4-day work week, you have to have a definition of success. Let's define success. Mm-hmm. Give me a specific definition of which crisis was bigger based on data, not opinion, data. Comparing 3 different crises, if we have, how do we define which crisis is worse than the other? Based on what data?
We have deaths.
Hang on. I'm asking him. I'm not asking you guys. I'm asking him.
I'm sorry.
So I'll answer any question you ask.
And before he do that, so this is where you're being disingenuous, Valuetainment. You're trying to say that people got killed, and nobody ever got arrested in the Black Lives Matter riots, whether Ferguson, George Floyd, etc. When, let's say with George Floyd, USAToday.com on February 22nd, 2023, and matter of fact, they tell you what time of day they published it. It was at 11:23 a.m., I think. They published a fact check on all the people like them that claiming throughout these years that all the people rioted that George Floyd got away with vandalism, looting, and all this stuff, and nobody got arrested. When the actual facts show that 20,000 people got arrested. 20,000 Black Lives Matter protesters and rioters were arrested from the George Floyd protest. And once again, listen to what he's saying. He feels like, oh, and I can bring up Ferguson. I can tell you about Ferguson. Look at KSDK.com. Look at KMOV.com. Look at Fox 2 Now YouTube channel. Try to go back to that timeline during the Ferguson riots and stuff like that. KPLR.com. They not only arrested the people that did the looting, specifically the people that destroyed and stole out of the hair supply business, people that stole out of the rim and tire business, the people that attacked and damaged the Ferguson Police Department, all of them were rounded up when the police had the time and prosecuted. And there are people, I'm sure, that are still in jail right now from that. Those are facts. I just gave you Ferguson reference points, and I gave you USAtoday.com reference point for the George Floyd protesters.
But I don't feel like they even need to be compared. They're both shitty situations.
No, but that's not how life works.
Okay,
though. Listen,
but that's January 6th can be a disgusting thing, and the protest can also be a disgusting thing.
That's not the question, though. That's not the question, though. The question is the following. I'm going to ask the question one more time. It's a very logical question. There's no emotion behind this thing here, okay? When people compare LeBron and Michael and Kobe, okay, statistically, where does the argument win for LeBron? Where does the argument lose for a Kobe? Where does the argument lose for MJ? So I'll give you mine. Yeah. Kobe's field goal percentage was the lowest. It's terrible, okay? Kobe's field goal percentage is not good. To me, he is a good top 5 best player of all time. I don't put him as a number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but I have him in top 5. That's my opinion based on data. Field goal percentage takes a hit, okay? LeBron James, the greatest human specimen in the history of the league ever. Did he make the NBA product better or worse like Michael made? I don't know. What did he do to the league? The career in the, what do you call it, finals is what? He's 4 and what? What's his record? 4 and 6? Mm-hmm. Some record like that in the finals, right? Okay. But statistically, most points ever, most assists, more rebounds than any of those guys. Field goal percentage over 50%, better three-point shooter. Great, right? Michael Jordan, 6-0. All defensive player of the year. I mean, I can give you a bunch of different things with him. He played 82 games in a season, I think 10 times or 8 times in his career. His last year when he played 82 games. I don't know if LeBron's ever played 82 games in a year. Maybe one, okay? Those are data. I'm asking data again. Question from you again. What specific data makes a crisis worse than the other? Data.
Deaths.
Okay, good. Yeah. I agree. Okay. Yeah. What else? Damage to the city. Property damage. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else can we do?
So before we go any further, because the January 6th riots only damaged the doors of the building and the windows of the building and all this stuff, you shouldn't compare it to the tragedies of the millions, billions of dollars of damage in the black communities from the rioters and things of that nature. I'll let you have that, sir. I don't have no problem with that reference. But here's what I want to let you know. Here's the example I use. For instance, if I have a bag of cocaine in my pocket, in a state where it's illegal, like my state. If I get caught in the grocery store with it, I'm going to jail doing a lot of time. If I get caught in a government building, like a court building with it, I'm doing even more time. Same with a gun charge. I get caught with a legal firearm in a grocery store, I'm doing a hell of a jail bid. But if it heightens, if I do it at the government building, at the court building, at the courthouse, at the governor's mansion, whatever, the Capitol building of your state, of your city. If you get caught with that same firearm in that building, you're doing 10 times, or you're at least doing double the harsh sentence than you would just be in a regular grocery store or a regular business or something like that. Which is what they're not understanding, these 3 gentlemen that are upset with what's going on with the January 6th rioters. They're not understanding it's supposed to be heightened because they're at a government building where the sanctity of a transfer of power is going on, and they're acting like they're gonna cause a mutiny. They're heightening it. You get caught speeding in a school zone, you get a higher ticket than you do getting caught on a regular road. That is how government works. If you feel like it's unfair, then you have an argument for another day. You have a different argument. They feel like you're making these people look bad because you want to have an agenda that all Republicans are evil people. But you're not understanding they have to make it higher because they're trying to make an example out of you don't mess with the government. Hey, I'm all for fuck the government if you feel that way. Because, yeah, it's a lot of people I know, regular schmoes, that got harsher sentences because they were in a government property, and I felt like it was unfair. But ain't nobody fighting that war. Go ahead and fight that war if that's how you feel. But don't act like they're getting mistreated compared to the average person, because everybody who do something, black, white, brown, Hispanic, whatever, would have got harsh sentences for doing something on January 6th, even if they were doing it under Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Fight the Power, Ghetto Mafia, whatever. So stop.
I didn't know. So death is one, property damage. What else?
Death, property damage.
Would you add anything else, or those two?
I mean, property.
I would add I would call it casualties. So death and injured people, people that were absolutely injured. So I would call it casualties. But yes, I agree with property damage.
I mean, those are
how much it affects democracy. It's
not
how much it affects democracy.
That was sounded like a political.
What does that mean, though?
He's trying to get hit.
But hang on. Yeah. If we go based on data, the BLM riots and what they did supersedes January 6th in death, 25-30 to 1.
Yes.
Damage to the city, it's not 20 to 1. It's 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Because the insurrection wasn't any damage to the local businesses or anything.
Nothing.
The damage in BLM protests, riots in the streets, fires, local businesses getting hit, it's not 1,000 to 1. It's more like, to be honest with you, it could be 1 billion to 1. It could be 10 billion to 1. The damage.
Yep.
So he feels like those should be considered worse. Okay, AOC and Kamala Harris and all them, if they try to say that this was worse than 9/11 and all this stuff, I get that point. Fuck what they talking about. They wrong, right? But you're also saying let these guys off the hook, though, is what the problem is with what you're saying today. You're not just saying, hey, don't prosecute, don't be so harsh on them. You're saying let them off the hook. And you're also saying people are trying to turn us against them because they want us to hate Donald Trump. They have to be held accountable too. Just like you're saying those people with all the billions of dollars of damage have to be accountable. And war, you have to acknowledge that. But he won't acknowledge that. He's making the argument that the damage was worse from the black rioters. Well, those people were held accountable. He's acting like they weren't. They were held accountable.
Yep, to the local business owners. This is data. So for one to be more fanatical, to pin one being bigger than the other, that is propaganda, that is manipulative, that is deceptive. That's the two. In regards to Tucker not liking Trump, I'm not surprised that Tucker doesn't like Trump. I'm not surprised that you think it's like saying, does Anderson Cooper love Joe Biden? Are you kidding me?
Hell no.
You think they like Joe Biden? No. You think any of these left people, you think Rachel Maddow goes to sleep saying, oh my God, I can't wait to correct the way that my picture of Joe Biden is in my office when I walk in? No. They don't like Joe Biden. They can't stand me. For every...
Man, you guys got to admit, you hate people that lean left. It's just time to stop it. Even people that I support, who I love their intelligence and all this stuff, boy, when they say left, they say with anger. Man, your side ain't no better, bro. But anyway, though, that's a great point that he brought up. I give credit where credit is due. We should not care that Tucker Carlson hates Trump. But what people will say, though, is the point he's missing on that is that we'll be able to point out, Tucker, you know Trump was full of shit on this one, and he'll sit there, he was not. I love Trump, and you sit there like, no, you don't. You know he was full of shit. That's why it's a big deal, to be honest with you. Even though you bring up a good point, Rachel Maddow and all them, all the Morning Joe people, they don't care for no Joe Biden. But it's the whole point of if you are sitting up here holding the Trump dick, holding his nutsacks, knowing that you can't stand him, your people who listen to you think you do, and it's a whole lot of bullshit. It's false, is what I'm saying.
Every one text of Tucker Carlson saying, I hate Trump, there's thousands of texts on the other side saying, let's get this freaking whatever leader out of here, Biden, because he's making it horrible for us. Let's set that part aside. They have opinions about each other, and Trump's not one that Tucker likes. Fine. All I'm saying here is this was overly promoted by people calling this worse than 9/11 terrorists, all this stuff, to put fear into people and divide America, and they won. They did.
No, they did not. No, they did not. They did not persuade anybody to not vote for Trump from them depicting the January 6 people. Look, motherfuckers been doing that the whole time. I brought up Bush earlier. Bush put fear in a whole culture of people by lying about what they were doing to America, and they weren't even involved. The fuck out.
And they wanted to push this guy out, Trump, to make sure he never could run again. Those are fanatical things to be saying, okay? Fanatical things to be saying. That's all I'm saying here. I'll give you the final thoughts. We'll go to the last topic here.
Everything you said is accurate. No doubt. Here's where I would like to at least draw a line between your argument and my argument. If you're going to compare the riots or everything that happened during COVID, I think it's unfair to compare them to what happened on January 6th, and I'll tell you why. Compare those riots to the LA riots in the 90s. Compare those riots to what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. And January 6th, different situation. Compare that to what we just saw happen in Brazil. Compare that to what we just saw in that coup attempt in Turkey 5-6 years ago with Erdogan. To me, those are the comparisons. Well, you did this, so you did this. That to me is an unfair. This is my opinion.
Okay, and you can have it. Yeah, it's fine.
So, and to me, that's where I'm comparing it.
And then, and Pat, because I know you want to say something.
What was the worst?
But wait, no. But you can't say that. You can say that, but that just because you said doesn't make it right. Okay, if you're committing crime, robbing store, running out with Louis Vuitton and all these other bags, and nobody's doing shit to you, this guy's going to be in jail for 4 years.
Right, but they did do something to them. They did. What fucking... The police licked their chops at catching the people that did the rioting and the looting. That's all they did. Even in Katrina, they rounded up the people that were in the water with flat screen TVs. They got all of them. He's full of shit. He know he is. Them people got arrested. He act like they did all that rioting, looting, and did nobody do nothing to them. If you believe that, I got the bridge over the Mississippi River to tell you.
That's a life-changing thing for this individual. He's going to be there for 4 years. How many of those guys got away with it? What are they doing to them? It's okay.
You're right on that.
But that's where you...
He's not right on that. They got arrested.
Like for example,
but you must admit
when laws come out. Let's just say we're starting a country, you and I, okay, and we're
okay, man. Look, if y'all want to see the rest of this, I'm done with this, man. I ain't gonna waste y'all time no more. Look it up. Don't take my word for it, and don't take his word for it either. His equivalence is this man and people like him from January 6th are being unfairly prosecuted when people on the left side have done so much stuff and never have gone before any judge or any court or even been handcuffed. That's a motherfucking lie. Matter of fact, that shit got started because of motherfuckers unlawfully being detained and arrested. What are you talking about? That's asinine. That's fucking asinine to think that no rioters or looters got prosecuted at all. You've seen it with your own motherfucking eyes and ears, what he just said. People on January 6th, including the guy that played the shaman, his life is being altered for the next 3 to 4 years, while other people that did the Black Lives Matter rioting, nothing happened to them. That came out his mouth, the dude with the black jacket on said, I agree, and he said, you shouldn't agree with that, you should be upset at that. That is bullshit. Them people did get arrested and prosecuted. Hey man, look, if you have any problem with anything I said, man, handle your business, bro. Hit me up, man. Leave a message or something like that. I got love for all Americans, man. I got love for people globally. I'm all about fairness, and I don't care for anybody who did nothing wrong to go to jail. I don't want that to ever happen. But what I'm saying is, they valuetainment. You're being disingenuous. You're being deceptive. You know you are. You know you are. Have somebody on there that can challenge that what you just said, because you should not be let off the hook for that one. That is distasteful.